Honkai Star Rail has a wonderful cast of characters. From wholesome and innocent children to the immortal and diseased, this game's characters along with their stories are what makes the game shine. Even if some characters get their screen time and story stolen away in their own companion quest by a different fucking character. While people are over here talking about how to build the next 5-star, theorizing the lore and the story, or barking for Kafka for the next 30 minutes, I want to do something that I believe nobody has ever done yet. Friendly hello hi, the name's Raph, and today I'm going to be talking about Seele and her potential to be the fastest character in all of Honkai Star Rail. Let's begin. My inspiration for making this video is looking at the different animations for playable characters during combat. Examples would be how abundance characters like Lynx and Luocha heal people but in different ways, or erudition characters like Serval and Jingyan using different equipment / magic for dealing lightning damage. However, Seele just has her scythe, nothing too flashy like Jingyan and Lightning Lord, but the way she wields it in combat and other medium made me think of what kind of power Seele has. And what I mean by power is, for example, Imbibitor Lune and his High Elder magic, or March 7th with her 6-phase ice. In order to figure out what power Seele has, let's start from the beginning. The first time we see her is in Act 2 of the Jarilo-VI arc, when vagrants try to hurt Bronya, but Seele comes to the rescue by swiftly cutting a bullet in half. Now that should have been enough evidence for Seele to be considered a speedster. However, a few seconds after that, her particles rise from the ground and they're literally visible to the naked eye. You can literally see both the vagrants and Bronya backing away, and it's as if Seele is just trying to make her grand entrance or something. Even if I was dead set on calling Seele a speedster, that scene initially made me think that maybe she could be someone that teleports instead. So I decided that in order for me to figure out which one fits Seele, I'd have to compare the two. The idea of speedster versus teleportation was on my mind for quite a while, and I feel like it would be most likely one of these two, even if speed is heavily favorable. To find more answers, I decided to do even more research on Seele by checking out her trailer and her Keeping Up with Star Rail video. In the videos, we see Seele leave a trail of where she last was when she uses her speed, similar to what happens with her technique, Phantom Illusion, but at a larger scale. This is mostly seen during gameplay when Seele uses her skill, Sheath Blade, and her ultimate, Butterfly Fury. Also, you're probably yelling at me for missing another ability, Time Stop. But that is immediately thrown out the window when we see Seele use Phantom Illusion against low-level Fragmentum creatures while said creatures are moving at their normal speed. Also, this scene shows that Seele's Phantom Illusion has a trail similar to when Yukong uses her technique, Chasing the Wind, which increases her exploration speed. Anyway, later when Bronya shows up in the trailer, we see Seele move faster than the bullet Bronya's gun shoots out of to catch up to the Guardian Shadow, once again seeing her trail. So, is it speed? Most likely. Now you're probably wondering, Raph, why are you just saying most likely? You've given so much evidence supporting yourself on that Seele is a speedster. Well, the reason why I said most likely is because whenever Seele uses Sheath Blade, we see her do that dumb teleporty thing again, and that happens when the move starts and when the move ends. Also, we see her do it again when she attacks while Phantom Illusion is still up. So is it teleportation? I don't know, because in Seele's Keeping Up with Star Rail video, Bronya literally says this about her.
I will say, she runs pretty fast for an underworlder.
And that clearly lines up with how she moves in official media outside of combat. So since this is already a pain in the ass to think of, I'm just gonna speculate on how her powers work by combining both speed and teleportation together, so hear me out, let me cook. I believe Seele's abilities work like this. Seele taps into her own kind of dimension / speed force, indicated by her teleportation-like effect that I will call her Phantom State. During this state, she can move freely without anyone seeing her. However, if she increases her speed, her opponents will be able to see a trail which can be compared to something like Quicksilver's Time in a Bottle-like effect in X-Men Days of Future Past, mixed with Sonic's power boost in Sonic Frontiers. So that's my take on the situation. If you're not satisfied with that, then I'd love for you to give me your own take on how Seele's powers work. Seriously, I'd love to hear your thoughts, because who knows, my thing is just completely fucking stupid and there's maybe like an easier explanation for this. So yeah, now that I've concluded that Seele is a unique kind of speedster, the real question is, how fast is she? Now, when you think of speedsters, you think of characters that move super fast. Characters such as Sonic the Hedgehog, Roadrunner, Chuck the Angry Bird, Dash Par, and the most popular speedster, the Flash. They have their limits on how fast they can be. But what about Seele? We know Seele is fast, but how fast? Is she faster than Usain Bolt? Can she keep up with a cheetah? Yes! So, I did even more research, and after that, I found out that Seele is almost as fast, if not faster, than the speed of sound. Yeah, I am not joking. Seele can most likely break the sound barrier. How? Well, let me tell you by going back to our main sources, her trailer and keeping up video. The easiest way to figure out how fast Seele is comes from one person's actions, and who else other than Bronya. Going back to the scene where the duo fights the Shadow Guardian, Bronya shoots a bullet out of her gun, which Seele easily moves faster than. That's right, if you've seen a MatPat video, you know where I'm going with this. And no, I am not making an out-of-context quote where Seele is compared to something like, I don't know, religion or the food chain. Yeah, instead we're gonna measure how fast Seele can travel with Bronya's bullet. In order to do that, we need to know what kind of gun Bronya has in the first place. And what other video to find information about Bronya than her own Keeping Up with Star Rail video. In the video, Albert mentions a detail about Bronya's gun.
Where Bronya's bayonet goes, the whole team follows.
That's right, the tip of the gun is the key, the bayonet, which can make things easier to find out what kind of weapons in our world Belobog's era takes place in. The first recorded instance of the bayonet is being used in China in the year 1606, and the last time any major battle of bayonets was used is during the Korean War in 1951, at the Battle of Bayonet Hill, which led to around 300 years worth of weapons using the bayonet. Now I could go further and look at the arsenal of the Silvermane guards, match their weapons with ours, and pinpoint where exactly in between that over 300-year gap the weapons match in to find out what kind of gun Bronya has. But instead I gave up and decided to look up Bronya Rand gun on Google. Oh shit, a rifled musket? Nice! Thanks, Radical Dreamers Workshop on Colts3D.com. You have saved me from bashing my head against my desk due to several hours of even more research. And also, yes, I did check on Google Images. They're pretty much the exact same thing. Anyway, now that we know what kind of gun Bronya has, we need to find the muzzle velocity of the bullet when it gets shot out. For those who are unaware, the muzzle velocity of a bullet is the speed of a bullet when it gets shot out of a gun. To make things easier, I decided to go with the 1855 model rifled musket as a reference for Bronya's gun. The 1855 rifled musket has a muzzle velocity of 950 feet per second, or 648 miles per hour if rounded up. If you need Dr. Ratio's teachings, like me, and don't know your measurements or the metric system at the back of your head, let's make things easier by saying the muzzle velocity of a rifled musket is 0.844198 the speed of sound. And yeah, if you go back to the Seele trailer again with the Shadow Guardian, you can see her speeding away faster than the bullet gets shot out of said rifled musket. Meaning, Seele has the potential to be faster than the speed of sound. Also, a cute little detail that I don't think is referenced, even if Star Rail literally has several references to other media. After the bullet scene, we have Seele pulling a fucking Zenitsu and pulling off her own Thunderclap and Flash, which by the way breaks the sound barrier with how fucking fast Zenitsu is, which Seele could probably theoretically break herself. And that's insane. I don't know if it's a reference, but I think it's really fucking cool. Anyway, now that we've gotten the calculations out of the way, and now we're kinda onto her potential since we're already talking about her breaking the sound barrier, I feel like it would be fun if I were to compare Seele to every single boss in Jarilo-VI. Let's get right onto it, shall we? Every time we see Seele in cutscenes, we don't see her getting tired after a fight often, since most of her fights are against a Fragmentum, which she can easily take care of. During several interactions with her, she's quite confident in taking on enemies on her own, probably having only a couple of scratches after her fights. But hey, she's still human, and it shows in Act 2 of Jarilo-VI, where we see her panting after a fight against an ice out of space near Rivet Town's orphanage. Speaking of that part of the story, let's rewind a bit. Before heading to Rivet Town with Bronya and the Trailblazer, Seele insists on looking for Natasha's stash of medical supplies on her own, even if she knows how dangerous it could be. Once again, going back to Seele's trailer, you can see how confident she is that she doesn't need Bronya's help while taking care of the Fragmentum monsters.
Did I ask for your help?
Looks like you could use it.
Not only that, you can even see Seele do most of the heavy lifting as Bronya covers as a support character from the backlines. Now if we were to go a little bit farther into the story, let's say Lucas' companion quest in 1.3, you can see Seele still riled up and still wants to do fighting even after taking a short break from what the Astral Express did to save Jarilo-VI. Even Oleg comments about it in this scene here.
Silly girl. Just a few days of hard-earned rest and you're already making it sound like jail time.
With these scenes, we can easily tell that Seele has the energy to take down Fragmentum monsters with ease. But the only time we get to see Seele get worried by an opponent is when she fights against Gepard, alongside the trio and Serval. Heck, she even compliments his relentlessness in putting up a fight. Now, as of 2.0, Gepard is one of the strongest entities in Jarilo-VI, with Cocolia and Svarog being the two other ones, and I'll get to Bronya later. Now, story-wise, Seele holds back in regards to fighting anybody that isn't Fragmentum or any of Svarog's robots. If somebody does wrong, she still has a good heart and doesn't kill. But the other fellas? Nah, they're gone. This ain't like Persona where you can recruit the enemy. So, let's just say, Seele versus her opponent, 1v1 to the death, with no in-game combat restrictions. Removing in-game combat restrictions means removing the turn-based element and giving the fighters a ton of room to fight. The reason why I'm doing this is because it makes people like Jing Yuan actually feel like he's easily one of the strongest people on the Lo-Fu like how it's portrayed in the story, instead of being a somewhat mediocre erudition unit in combat compared to the Sanjiao Lo-Fu's local gambler. Anyway, if Seele were to 1v1 Gepard to a fight to the death without holding back, do you think she'd reach her limits and lose a fight? Personally, I don't think so. If Seele were to treat Gepard as, like, example, a Fragmentum creature, it would be a kill on sight. And let's show that bullet clip. You know how fast she's fucking going. Look, I'm trying not to downplay Gepard. He is a very good foe and a very fierce opponent, with an incredible defense even. But he cannot defend an attack if the attacker is faster than he is. Even if we see Gepard block literal ice arrows with his hand, or Marsh is just a horrible shot, he's still human like Seele and will get worn out eventually. Besides, defending is useless if you can't adapt to the attacks of your opponent. Also, with heavy armor like Gepard's, I don't think he has enough speed to fight against an opponent faster than the sound waves of his sister's music. Now let's talk about Svarog. For Svarog, Seele herself is aware that he's strong, even saying he's the strongest in the underworld. Girl, I'm sorry, but you're way stronger than you think, and faster too. Look, Svarog may be strong, with his own arsenal of weapons and his robot army to help him out, but he's not fast enough to escape someone who can be theoretically faster than his own missiles. He does have his auxiliary robot arm. Auxiliary robot arm unit, which is that one hand that can imprison opponents, slowly draining their HP and self-destructing later. But I am confident that Seele can outrun them. Besides, how can Svarog summon robots if he's already dead? Off goes his head. Or his core? Who gives a shit, he's already fucking dead. Now on to Cocolia, specifically her Mother of Deception form, since her normal form, well... This one is tricky since she's powered by a Stellaron, which can do several things like grow plants and make the next Ice Age movie. Look, all we know is that the Stellaron is very overpowered and is one hell of a planetary disease to the point where, well, it can change everything. Since Cocolia's Mother of Deception form is powered by the Stellaron, I feel like it's best to assume that she was the most powerful Belobog citizen as of 2.0. Now, Seele may be fast, but Cocolia can freeze and imprison her opponents, which gives her a chance to win. Not only that, but Cocolia is also airborne, meaning Seele's movements aren't as flexible in the air than on land, especially if the fight plays on a mostly flat surface. However, there are ways for Seele to still reach Cocolia, even if she's airborne. If the battle takes place where there are several high structures like mountains or maybe ruins of the past, or maybe when Cocolia summons her Lances of Eternal Freeze, and then that 1 meter from the attack last choir of Genesis. These structures, terrain, and even attacks can be used as ramps or platforms for Seele to use, and make sure she has enough momentum to launch herself up fast enough for Cocolia to not see coming. Then, off goes her head. Now we kinda see Seele do this when we are trying to get the Trailblazer onto the engine of creation. We see Seele run up, and then somehow catch them in their arms and then throw them. Now I don't know how Seele exactly got up there because it's only like 2 parts of a 3-part story with the middle being left out. So I'm just gonna assume that during her phantom state, she uses the engine of creation as like platforms or something, and then just launches herself up, which is why we see her airborne for a bit. So yeah, that's how I'm going with this. If you have any other headcanons, go off in the comments, I guess. So to summarize, Speedster Seele can take on every boss on her own if she goes all out. If I were to rank all the Jarilo-VI bosses, it would be Bronya last, Svarog and Japard tied in the middle, and then Cocolia as the strongest. Also, the reason why I left out Bronya is because Seele could easily kill her with a swipe of her scythe. Besides, Seele can go faster than the bullets Bronya can shoot out of her own fucking gun, so what's the point? Also, I ship Bronya and Seele, so I'm biased. Leave me the fuck alone. Now that we've gotten the bosses out of the way, you're probably wondering who else could Seele beat up? So I'm gonna quickly name every single playable character in the Jarilo-VI faction that can be obliterated by Seele. Bronya, Japard, Natasha, Pela, Clara, Hook, Luca, Lynx, and Serval!
Give me Link.
Yeah, Serval!
Damn it, Serval!
Oh yeah, also if it wasn't obvious, Seele can easily annihilate every single enemy creature on Jarilo-VI as of 2.0, so that's that. Now I could put Seele against opponents from other factions like the Lofu, the Space Station, even Penacony, even though that's not finished yet. But this video is already long enough, so I'm just gonna leave it here. But if you guys want to see that though, let me know in the comments down below. And there you have it, folks. This is why I think Seele is the fastest character in all of Honkai Star Rail, and why I believe she is way more powerful story-wise than what others may believe. But hey, that's just a theory.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
If you guys think I left something out or got something wrong, feel free to let me know in the comments. And speaking of the comments, if you guys want me to do any more analyzing or theorizing or whatever the hell this video is about anything unrelated to the lore of Star Rail at all, let me know. I won't do anything in regards to character builds though. If you want to see that, go watch some other goated content creators who are more into Star Rail than me, like Braxophone, Sevi Plays, and Goba Certified. Anyway, that's all for today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, also you're allowed to leave a dislike if you hate it. I'm always open to feedback so I can grow my channel. Heck, my last video exceeded all of my expectations, so yeah! Stay safe, have fun, and take care of yourselves, and I'll see y'all whenever. What the hell? Oh, a Discord call. I wonder who this could be.
Yo, what's up, bruv?
Oh, hey, Goruto. Is everything alright?
So, buddy, I just saw that 2.1 live stream not too long ago, and I don't think Seele is the fastest character.
Wait, actually? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Hold on, I'll go check it out on YouTube. Just give me a sec. I will be right back. Oh, my God. Are you